Hello, BookTube. It is Saturday. Beautiful, beautiful sunny day here in Vermont. I worked a little this morning, and then my oldest boy and I had the time to ourselves, so he took me to Best Buy. It's always first. And we both went to Newberry Comics in agreement, and then I dragged the poor fella to a couple thrift shops. So he did well. He got a Xbox One game, the name of which already escapes me. And I got some books. So I did not get anything at the comic store, but I did see a few things that interested me. But at the thrift store I found some books, so I'm going to show them to you. Last week I found some Anne McCaffrey in hardcover. And I found another one of her Pern books here. And this is, and again, at the same thrift store, so they just hadn't unpacked it. They came out at different times. This is Anne McCaffrey, The Dolphins of Pern. Beautiful hardcover. See if I can get it without a glare here. A little harder than usual. Probably because we have all the windows open just to enjoy the sun. This came out in 1994, and it is a first edition. And a Lemmy saw the master splinter and break, felt Redis's tightened grip, and then abruptly they were upended as waves slammed into the starboard side and decanted them into the roiling sea. His grip on Redis tightened. Over the scream of the storm, he heard the boys' frightened cry. So, sounds exciting. So, yeah, look at the cover there. You see the dolphin. Pretty neat. Then I found, it's an old science fiction book club volume, I'm pretty sure. I probably could figure that out pretty easy. This is Lioness, The Green Pearl by Jack Vance. Very pretty cover. Again, more glare. I probably should have picked the spot a little better here. Originally Berkeley. This was Berkeley Books, New York, and it came out in 1985. But like I'm saying, this is definitely a book club edition. Yeah, it says so right here. As two mighty kings struggle for dominance in the legendary Elder Isles, land of fairy she's, valiant knights and sorcerers who wield influence as well as magic, a mysterious and beautiful green pearl travels from hand to hand, spreading destruction in its wake. So I wonder if they tell us who did the cover art on here. That would be nice. I'm a huge fan of Jack Vance. I have been for most of my life. They're probably not going to tell me who the cover artist is. If anybody knows, just drop a comment down below, and I'll look to the book and try to figure it out. Next here we have a Sherlock Holmes. Sherlock Holmes of Baker Street, A Life of the World's First Consulting Detective by William S. Baring-Gould. I have Mr. Baring-Gould's annotated Sherlock Holmes. Again, the glare is just horrible here. I apologize. This looks to be a reprint. Wings book, New York, Avenel, New Jersey. So this thing is the 5th printing, and it's from 1962, 1995 edition by Wings, and I would think that 5th printing was even beyond. So exciting anyway. While the writings of Dr. Watson helped millions learn of the exciting exploits of Sherlock Holmes, very little was known about Holmes himself. His logic, power of observation, and ability to reveal the most befuddling situations as elementary are legendary. Here is a definitive account of what went on in Holmes' life before he became a detective, between cases, and after his career ended. So William S. Baring-Gould was an earnest student of the writings of John H. Watson, M.D., about his friend Mr. Sherlock Holmes. He edited the annotated Sherlock Holmes and other highly regarded texts on the Master Sleuth. He was a member of the Baker Street Irregulars Incorporated and belonged to 3 of its scion societies: the 5 Orange Pips of Westchester County, the Musgrave Ritualists, and the Diogenes Club of New York City. He also argued quite convincingly that this was not a work of fiction, which of course it is, but looks like fun. And then another thrift store. So that's what I found at the first one. So then we went to a smaller one. And I found this. It's a sequel to the Machine Crusade, which I don't have. It's Dune: The Battle of Corinne. Brian Herbert and Kevin J. Anderson. A huge fan of Dune. I have not read all of the Kevin J. Anderson and Brian Herbert volumes. And the ones I have read, I've read way out of sequence or any sense of order. This again looks to be a book club edition, but it's in great shape. Tom Doherty Association Books, Tor. And this was from 2004. So it's a good shape, nice cover. Let's see here. I'll give you a little bit about it. It's been 56 years since the events of the Machine Crusade. Following the death of Serena Butler, the bloodiest decade of the Jihad takes place. Synchronized worlds and unallied planets are liberated one by one, and at long last, after years of struggle, the human worlds begin to hope that the end of the centuries-long conflict with the thinking machines is finally in sight. Unfortunately, Omnius has one last deadly card to play. In a last-ditch effort to destroy humankind, virulent plagues are let loose throughout the galaxy, decimating the populations of whole planets, and once again, the tide of the titanic struggle shifts against the warriors of the human race. At last, the war that has lasted many lifetimes will be decided in the apocalyptic battle of Corinne. Apocalyptic. Boy, I've only said it a million times in my life, and it just went away. Sorry, folks. But then I wasn't done. That same thrift store. Yeah, I'm having trouble with the speaking today. I found a pile of paperbacks that were just in great shape. And the first one I'm going to show you is another Dune, House Carino. Oh, that glare again, I apologize. The spine's great. Again, Brian Herbert and Kevin J. Anderson. And another one I haven't read. So this follows Dune, House Atreides, and Dune, House Harkonnen. But I've read all these out of order anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Let's see. In subterranean labs on the planet of Ix, cruel Tlaixu overlords are busy manufacturing a synthetic form of melange known as Amal. If Amal can supplant the spice from Dune, Emperor Shaddam IV will gain absolute power. But if the plot of Imperial House of Carino succeeds, this madness may result in the end of space travel, the Imperium, and civilization itself. It is only Duke Leto Atreides, badly overmatched yet desperate to free the Ixians from their oppressor, who stands a chance of averting this cataclysmic tragedy. Then I found 3 Asimovs. So, and they're all from the Robot series. So I'll just start like this. We got the, and they're in great shape. Caves of Steel. These are all from Borders, for those of you who remember Borders. Like I said, they look brand new. Let's see, Bantam Books. And this is the 20th printing. This originally came out in 1953-54. The cover art is Stephen Yule from 1991. So yeah, this is exciting. Caves of Steel. I have to hold it at an angle so you can see it. The other one, I've read all these, all these particular Asimovs. I mean, you wrote 500 books. I haven't read all the Asimov. This is again Robot series, The Naked Sun. Again, immaculate condition. And this one came out, let's see, Doubleday edition was 65, it's a lot earlier, 1956. This is the 17th printing of this, probably just of the paperback. So, and then another one, just immaculate condition, another Robot series, The Robots of Dawn. Again from Borders. So somebody got rid of a whole collection, I would think. And this originally came out in 1983. So, yeah, the Robot series. Does it say who the... it doesn't really say. But anyway, I like the cover. Well, not a bad little collection of Asimov and the robot stories for those of you who are familiar with them. But that wasn't it. I picked up a really nice Vertigo edition, and the last thing I found was this paper, the soft cover edition of Alan Moore and David Lloyd's V is for Vendetta by Vertigo, published by Vertigo. Very excited to read this. I have not read this, and when did this come out? 1988. Compilation copyright 1990 DC Comics. So if anybody's read that, give me a heads up. I've seen it around, never gotten to it. Is this borders again? Oh, I can't tell on this one, but anyhow, give you an idea of the interior. All the paperbacks were $1, and all the hardcovers were $1.75. I didn't spend very much money at all, and it was just really fun to go out with my son. And tonight at the library, we're going to do something a little different. It's a sort of a wintertime idea. We're going to have a fondue party. So we're bringing a couple different things in old fondue pots, and other people around town are, and then we'll have a crock pot full of hot apple cider. And so it should be fun. Kids will have fun. There's even fondue that's desserts for them of different kinds. So we'll see how it goes. Hopefully people show up. And SAG along tomorrow. And looking forward to that. And we'll see you soon. Thank you, Book Talk.